Hey everybody, welcome back to Let's Play Katawa Shoujo Hanako's Beta Path Part 2. Today we continue this brand new story of Hanako. The timid Hanako disappears completely from my mind like the thin veil that it is.
What's the matter?
Shaking myself back into reality, I realize that I've been staring at the flesh and blood Hanako whilst musing to myself. Oh, it's nothing. I was just thinking that you've changed since we've met. Damn it, I'm echoing Lilly's words. But now, I think I can see the truth behind them.
Don't be silly.
The faint smile turning the corner of Hanako's lips upwards is immensely relieving. Say, how about we go together to visit Lilly today? Hanako gingerly raises the can to her lips, and nods as she takes a drink. Our interlude is interrupted by the distant ringing of the bells, summoning us back to the classroom. We'd best be getting back. We'll leave straight after class, right?
Okay.
The first thing I notice as I enter the classroom is a contemplative Shizune carefully cleaning her glasses. And for some reason, the only thing I can think of is the terrified look of the wheelchair-bound student from the start of lunch. I take advantage of Shizune's temporary distraction to whisper in Misha's ear. Hey, did that guy survive? What did she do to him? Misha brightens up my attention, seeming all too eager to answer.
I don't know! But...
Wait, don't. Too late. Misha has already spun around and is tapping Shizune on the shoulder. I reach out and grab Misha's hands before she can start incriminating me. Her warm, soft hands. Wait, this is no time for fantasy! I need to stop her asking Shizune that question.
Eh? Hiso? Confessing? To me?
No, that's not it at all. Misha pouts in an overly fake manner.
You're mean!
I just wanted to stop you before you asked Shizune about that. I have a feeling she'd take it the wrong way.
He-chan, you make her sound like some kind of bad person. Just take a look at her. There's no way she could be a bad person.
Just promise me you won't ask her that.
Okay.
I release Misha's hands, which immediately go about the business of communicating with Shizune. Damn it. I can tell Shizune knows that something is up, but I can't follow a single thing either of them are saying. But from the look on Shizune's face, I can guess. I think I may have awoken a demon.
He-chan, Shizune wants to have a word with you. She wants to remind you that the student council is here for the students, not for their own amusement. Any disciplinary measures put into place are solely for the benefit of the student body, and not for the entertainment of the student council.
What exactly did you say to her?
Oh, I can't remember anymore. Shi-chan has one more thing to say. That boy will bother you no more.
My blood runs cold at the thought of what these two would do to a fellow student. Thankfully, I am freed from their stares by the arrival of the teacher and their lesson. As per usual, the classroom empties in the blink of an eye. It takes mere seconds before Hanako and I are left alone. So, shall we head straight out? Hanako simply nods, and we make our way to the bus stop. The first bus into town is surprisingly crowded. I guess a lot of students want to put as much distance between themselves and the school as quickly as possible. Hanako and I manage to secure a seat, but by the time the bus pulls away from the curb, not a single free seat remains. Getting any conversation out of Hanako in this environment is less likely than blood from a stone, so I look through my bag for something to read. As I pass my fingers over my textbooks, I feel the plush texture of 3-3's gift to Lilly. I almost forgot I had it in here. Extracting the bear, I examine it once again.
Is that for Lilly?
What? Oh, yeah. Her classmates got it for her and asked me to deliver it.
Oh, I see. Hisao!
Hanako's outburst causes me to jump in my seat, and I almost throw the bear in fright. What? I mean, what's the matter, Hanako?
We should get her something too. Something to make sure that bear isn't alone.
Alone. There's that word again. I'm sure that Hanako's words are simply a coincidence, but I have a niggling feeling in the back of my head that there's something more to it. I wonder, was Lilly perhaps talking about herself and Hanako? That's a good idea. There's a gift shop at the hospital. Maybe we can get something there. Hanako shakes her head, her stare fixed upon the bear in my hands.
No, those gifts have no soul.
Again, Hanako's voice has the hard-edged determination that it had earlier in the day. Her eyes are ablaze with some inner passion. But this time, I think I can relate to how she feels. You're right. Actually, I know just the thing for this occasion, though it will require a slight detour.
Othello's Antiques?
Yeah, I found it when I was looking for Lily's birthday present.
Oh.
I make a beeline straight for the stiff bear I noticed on my last visit. It's a little expensive, but I think...
It's perfect.
I had barely lifted the bear off the shelf before Hanako had responded. Slowly, tenderly, she takes the bear from my hands and holds it to her face. As she stands there, eyes closed, hugging the bear, I feel somehow saddened that I'm buying this for Lillian, not her. Wheels turn in my head and I start to calculate. If I can constrict myself to drinking only water and eating only what the school provides me, I should be able to pull this off. Under my breath, I thank my parents for the slight swell in allowance for this month. Before Hanako opens her eyes again, I swipe the bear's companion from the shelf, wave to the store owner, and stuff it into my bag. I grab a collection of notes out of my wallet, and whilst pointing at Hanako, I jam the money under another of the bears upon the shelf. He gives me a puzzled look, and I desperately try to explain to him using sign language. I've watched Shizune and Misha do this a heap of times. Why is he just looking at me like I'm having a fit? Just as I'm about to walk over and explain everything to him, Hanako releases the bear.
Excuse me, but we'd like to buy this.
Ah, sure thing, miss. Is this for you, Lilly? Hanako gawks at the store owner and I close my eyes, wishing that this whole situation had never occurred.
How did you know this was for Lilly?
Well, I remember the young man here from his last visit. He got me to engrave Lilly on a music box. So I thought that might be you, seeing as... Oh! It seems that the gears in his head have finally made the connection. Lilly is a mutual friend of ours that's in hospital. But I'm surprised you remembered. Ah, well, I've got this thing for faces. And names, apparently. Well, it was a unique order.
So, how much is this?
The store owner looks at me, then at my bag, then at the shelf that conceals my payment for the bear hidden in my school bag. I'll tell you what. I'll cut you a bargain. A get well special. 6,000 even. I grimace, knowing that I left almost twice that on the shelf behind us. Hanako, however, is delighted.
Thank you.
I smile as I fish out my wallet for a second time and give the owner the remains of my cash. And here's your receipt. I hope Lilly gets well soon. Cheers!
Thank you ever so much.
Hanako bows ever so slightly. It's the first time I've ever seen her be so formal. She is so beautiful and cute. It's strangely charming. 110% agree with you on that, Hiso. Do you need a bag for that? Or... Hanako shakes her head.
No, I'll carry it, thank you.
True to her word, Hanako carries the bear against her chest, hugging it from behind. The little bell on the door rings as I put my wallet into my pants. I sigh a little as I feel how light it is compared to when I entered the store. I am such an idiot sometimes. Hanako and I arrive at the hospital a little later than I would have liked, but the detour was well worth it. Sitting on the bench beside the main entrance is Yuko, and next to her is a young man drinking a beer. Hey Yuko, who's your friend?
Hey Hisao, Hanako. This is, she's...
She? Akira Sato, pleased to meet you. The young man stands up, and upon closer examination, it is apparent that she actually is a she. Hisao Nakai, how'd you do? Akira grabs my hand and shakes it with a bizarre energy. Hey there, Hanako, long time no see.
Hi there, Akira.
The way Hanako and Yuko are avoiding looking at Akira worries me slightly. I guess that none of them get along. Anyway, my work here is done, so I best be off. Good to meet you, Hisao. Thanks for keeping an eye on my sister. Ah, Sato, Lily's sister. That should have clicked when I heard the name, but I was still confused by the gender switching. But before I could investigate further, Akira has already hailed a cab, totally ignoring us. So, Lily's sister, eh?
She was sent here by Lily's parents to check on her.
I thought that was your job.
Well, it should be, but I don't know.
Yuko looks like she's just been fired, a look of dejection and loss. Maybe she was just concerned for her little sister. Hanako and Yuko both give me a strange look.
Lily is the oldest sister in her family.
Huh? How about that? She just seems like she's older than Lily.
There's only a year between them, and Akira has always been chasing Lily in that regard. I guess I'm just used to her looking like that, so I didn't really notice.
I guess that makes sense. So, did you get a day off work or something today? Yuko's dejection evaporates in a cloud of confusion.
No, what makes you say that?
Well, I thought that you might have had to start by now. Panic rises.
Hey, what time? Oh no, I've gotta go!
Yuko's neurotic side surfaces as she skitters past Hanako and myself, her hands fumbling around in her pockets.
Keys, where am I? Oh, Lily gets out tomorrow. I'll see you later!
I meekly wave at the panicking Yuko as she stumbles over her scooter. Well then, shall we go and see her?
Yes, let's go.
Lily sits up in her bed, gently running her finger over a hardcover book. It could be my imagination, but she almost looks rattled. Afternoon, Lily. Hanako and I came by to visit. In a practice move, Lily inserts a bookmark into the book, places it on the bedside table, and runs her fingers around the tabletop, memorizing its position.
Good afternoon, Hisao, Hanako. How does the day find you?
Her voice is still a little more than a whisper. However, the croaking of the past few days is starting to subside. At the very least, she seems to be in slightly higher spirits than before.
Hi, Lily. We brought presents.
I'll be discharged shortly. You needn't have gone to the bother. Well, your classmates got you something, and we felt bad about not getting you anything. I walk to her bedside and fish out the bear from my bag, being careful not to show its contents to Hanako. Here, all the students in your class pitched in for this. Even Kenji.
Well, isn't that a surprise?
I place the bear in her searching hand and she immediately runs her fingers through its long fur.
My, it's splendid. Could you please pass on my thanks? I probably won't be at school until next week.
Sure thing. Hanako nervously steps forward and I quickly reseal my bag.
This is from Hisao and I...
Hanako releases the stiff bear from her embrace, almost sad to see it go. Lily deftly places the first bear atop the book she was just reading and takes the bear from Hanako. Upon touching the second bear, her face changes.
Oh, Hanako, you shouldn't have.
Running her delicate fingers around the bear's face brings on a surprised look from Lilly. She pulls the bear to her face to nuzzle with it.
It smells like you, Hanako.
I'm glad that Lilly can't see sometimes, as I think that I'm probably blushing harder than Hanako right now. Hanako hasn't let go of it since she saw it. From the instant she saw it, we had to get it for you.
Thank you, you didn't need to. And I'm sorry for making you worry.
Her face shows just how genuine her apology is. Thankfully, Hanako seems to leave it at that. I don't think I'd be able to explain my vivid daydream to her without causing some kind of incident.
That's okay, Lilly. We just wanted to do something for you.
Yeah, I felt kind of bad delivering someone else's gift when I haven't even given you yet. And it's only natural that we'd be worried. You're our friend.
Well, thank you again. You seem to have incredible taste when it comes to gifts, Hisao.
Well, Hanako picked it out.
But you found the shop. My, the two of you, working together as a team. I feel a little left out.
Well, how about I take you there next time, Lilly?
That'd be nice.
As we continue our banter, I notice that Lilly never once lets go of her newest bear. Thinking back to the last time I was in her room, she only has a handful of stuffed animals and dolls. No doubt presents from Hanako and her relatives. While I have a suspicion she'd rather a book as a present, the fact that this is from Hanako and I seems to make that fact trivial in her mind. Before long, a nurse wheeling a dinner cart knocks gently on the door and notifies us that hospital visiting hours are ending. Catch you later, Lilly.
Goodbye, Lilly. Goodbye, you two. I'll be back at the dorm by tomorrow, if things go to plan, so I'll see you at school next time. Thank you for the gift, too. I'll treasure it.
The nurse bows gently to Hanako and I as we pass, and then pushes the cart into Lilly's room. The silent bus trip lets me reflect on Lilly's situation. Her sickness and the operation following it have brought the three of us closer together, but it feels as if nothing has changed at all. In fact, since we all met, only Hanako has changed. She's become more confident, even Lilly agrees to that. She's talking to me and no longer acting like a lost sheep when Lily's not around. Lilly is just still Lilly, and apart from sleeping less, I'm still me. She really does seem to care for everyone, no matter how small their problem. And at that, Hanako worries about her as if Lilly were her own mother. Despite that, though, both of them have asked me to look after the other over the course of the past month. And I've promised them both that I would. I wonder, can I really do that? The bus jerks to a halt, ending my reverie. Hanako and I walk back to the dorms in the fading light, and I try to find an opportunity to give Hanako her present. But the stifling silence between us presents no such chance, and we part ways with a courteous goodnight. Damn it! Why is it so much easier to give someone a gift when they're laying in a hospital bed? I throw myself upon my bed and look up at the ceiling. I'm mentally exhausted, but I have a nagging feeling that I'm not going to sleep well tonight. Just like any other night, actually. I blink and once again a flutter of blue streaks across my vision. I sit upright and try to track its motion, but it is too fast, disappearing into the air from whence it came. But something else now fills my vision, my bulging school bag. I guess there's no point in holding on to that bear forever. And if I hold on to it for too long before giving it to her, she's going to think I'm weird. Besides, I only bought it for her because we bought one for Lilly. It's not like it's got any special meaning or anything. I open my bag, retrieve Hanako's bear, and head outside. The cicada's cries have started to die down as evening becomes night. And as if in defiance of the sweltering days, the night air is surprisingly chilly. I guess that's why no one's out at the moment. Well, that and studying. Part of my brain chastises me for not using my countless sleeping nights to catch up on that aspect of student life. Ah well, I guess I'll just have to cram in some last-minute work before the exams. It's worked for me before. I'm sure I'll be all right. The dorm halls are similarly vacant. Even the common room is deserted. Normally, at least one of the girls would be catching up on their TV at this hour, but not tonight. Honestly, I'm a little relieved. In my rush to sneak Hanako's bear out of the store, I didn't even think about getting a bag for it. Walking around the girls' dorm with a teddy bear would be kind of difficult to explain. Hanako and Lily's hall seems even quieter than the rest of the dorm. I can almost hear the roar of my blood as it circulates around my ear. You notice so much more in the absence of some things. I wonder if Lilly would agree with me on that. I gently rap on Hanako's door, the knocking deafening in the silent hall. No answer. I doubt that Hanako would be asleep at this hour. She seems like more of a night owl than anyone else I've met. I knock once more, this time a little harder just to be sure. No response. Guess she must be asleep after all. Ah well, I could always give it to her tomorrow. Something to commemorate Lily's return, perhaps. I twist on my heels and head off down the hallway. Looks like I've got to run the gauntlet with you again, little guy. Try not to be seen. The sound of a door unbolting stops me in my tracks. Instinctively, I hide the bear behind my back. But it sounded too close to be Hanako's door.
Hisa? Is that you?
Hanako? Sorry, did I wake you up? I turn to see Lily's door slightly ajar, a slither of light bisecting the gloom of the hallway.
Not as such.
Do you mind if I come in? I have something for you. The door to Lily's room slowly swings inwards, revealing Hanako. She looks totally crestfallen, her eyes puffy and red, her head cowed. Hanako, what's the matter? Isn't this Lily's room? Hanako nods silently and steps back from the door. Behind her, I see Lily's bedspread practically knotted on the bed. A tattered plush rabbit sits amongst the wrecked linen, one that I've never seen before. It's obvious that Hanako was lying there only moments ago.
I'm sorry.
Sorry? For what?
I shouldn't be in here. But I just couldn't...
A glossy coat of tears paint itself across Hanako's eyes. She's deliberately avoiding looking at me, a side effect of her guilt. When a girl starts crying before a guy, he becomes full of compassion no matter who he is. Hey now, there's nothing wrong with it, right? I'm sure Lilly wouldn't mind. I realize that I'm still hiding the bear from Hanako, an instinctual reaction, I'll bet a stupid one. Look, here, I brought you a present. I offer the bear to Hanako, who initially shies away from my outstretched arms. But as her tear-stained eyes recognize the form before her, shock spreads across her face. She stares at it in disbelief, and I feel as if the world has ground to a halt. Eventually, she reaches out with shaking hands and lifts the bear from my palms. Her grip on the bear is like that of a new mother holding her child for the first time, tender yet protective. So what do you... Oof! I barely start to speak before Hanako lurches forward into my chest, wedging the bear between us.
How? When?
Well, when I saw you in the shop, I thought you looked good together. So I secretly bought it for you while you were distracted.
Thank you.
Hanako stares at the bear, her guilt-ridden face now flooded with a strange wonder. Well, I'd best be off. Hanako's arm shoots out before I could even notice, grabbing my sleeve.
Don't go. Not yet.
Amazingly, she never takes her gaze off the bear. Sure, I guess I could stay for a bit. Let me put the kettle on. Hanako nods and slowly releases my sleeve. She stumbles backwards and sits awkwardly on Lily's bed. As I fill the kettle and switch it on, she fumbles through Lily's bedsheets until her hand rests on the tattered rabbit. Without looking, she scoops up the rabbit and brings it into her field of vision, gently resting it against the bear on her lap. What a strange sight we must make. Hanako staring intently at two toys whilst I watch her from across the room. The kettle whistles and I fill the waiting pot with the steaming water. As if guided by some invisible hand, I place the teapot on Lily's small table and then sit down next to Hanako. I've been in Lily's room a number of times, but this is the first time I've ever touched her bed. The springs respond a little as I sit, and I could wait, let me read that again. The springs respond a little as I sit, and I can faintly smell Lily on the sheets. But right now, our blind friend is miles from my mind. There's something to Hanako's reaction that makes me incapable of thought. I didn't exactly expect her to be ecstatic, but I didn't expect her to just stop either. Still, she certainly looks a little cheerier than she did when she first opened the door. I think. So, I guess your friend there isn't alone anymore, right?
Eh?
Hanako starts a little at my question, as if she had forgotten that I was in the room entirely. Were I quicker on my feet, I'd think of something to say. Your friend, the rabbit. He's not alone anymore now, right? He looks pretty old now, too.
I guess you're right. It's just that no one has bought me something like this. Since then.
Something in the back of my brain tells me that I shouldn't be pushing the issue. Then? It just seems that the back of my brain is about a second behind my vocal cords. Hanako closes her eyes for a second, clutches both of the animals before her for a moment, then looks at me.
I grew up with foster parents. They were kind to me, but I could never bring myself to ask anything of them. I was already imposing on them enough just by living with them. But before that, my parents bought me Petra.
At the mention of her parents, she clutches the rabbit slightly tighter.
He and I were the only things to survive the fire.
Things?
Everything burnt. My house, my toys, my parents, everything. I don't remember much, but I know when the firemen woke me up in the snow, all that was left was Petra. Since then, all we've had was each other.
Have you ever told anyone else this? Hanako shakes her head.
Not even Lilly.
Really?
Really.
I lean back on the Lily's bed. So, Hanako hasn't told Lily everything. The mere thought of that spins my head around. I remember Lily mentioning that Hanako once told her everything, to think that she was keeping things from her. I wonder what else Lily doesn't know. So, why are you in here?
I thought I heard something in here, and I came to check it.
You're a terrible liar. I liked it better when you were being honest. There is a brief pause as Hanako avoids my gaze. And we're going to leave things on a very cliffhanging note till the next part, so stay tuned for Let's Play Katawa Shoujo, Hanako's Beta Path Part 3, when we'll hopefully learn a little bit more about what Hanako's hiding, or not, I don't know. Anyway, see you then, peoples!